Yo, what's going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we're back with another Veve And Ecomi video, man. So Superstar Money has just found some crazy things right now, man. So it looks like Apple may be actually coming after Veve. I don't know if this was their intention or if it just looks like this, but it looks bad. It looks like they're literally targeting Veve. So Rob and Joe are actually going to go over the article and the post that they found that goes over this, but this is actually a huge deal. This is insane. So be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications, and tell me, what do you all think about this? Do you think that this was targeted at Veve? Because honestly, Apple makes a lot of money from Veve, all the gems being purchased and stuff like that. But to be fair, they have a website now. Veve has a website. So could this be kind of retaliation now that Apple is not the only thing that Veve has to depend on? You know, like Vive's finding other avenues to do what it has to do. Could this be something petty, or do you think that this is a bigger plan at work here? So we're gonna go over it. Be sure to subscribe to the homies, Rob and Joe. Like, show them some love, because they always make amazing content. By the way, they always make amazing content. But yeah, I definitely want to hear their take on this. And yeah, I want to hear everybody's take on this. This is big. This could be really big, and it's not. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's. I don't think that it's good at all. But we'll see.
So yeah. let's see how it goes.
Yeah. So that is that. Now, Rob, we saw a tweet from Bankless. This is where I first saw it. Apple just updated their App Store terms. You can sell NFTs in your app as long as the NFTs don't unlock features.
We gotta go through this, because
so let's go through it. I asked, just for the record, I replied to it, and I asked David and Dan. I said, does this change anything for Veve? Can we kill the FUD before it starts?
That's crazy. You can sell NFTs in your app as long as the NFTs don't unlock features. Now, I think maybe some of the best news here is that most of the features that's going to get unlocked is going to be stuff in the Veveverse, which they're mainly focusing on desktop for that. But still, I think that limits a huge audience, because, you know, the mobile side of things, the mobile is where it's at. The mobile is actually where the majority of users will be able to have, like, because in Asia, for instance, I know in Asia, mobile gaming is massive. Mobile gaming is huge. Like, that's how, like, in Asia, gaming is insane. Mobile gaming is insane because most people can't afford computers. They're kind of poorer countries, or poorer areas in there, where they can only really afford, you know, phones, and they don't even really have that good of phones. Like, people still out there with iPhone 5s and stuff like that. So you're cutting off a huge chunk of people who will be able to access these unlockable features that Veve is planning on offering. So I don't know if they're going to have a way around this, if Apple is going to make some exceptions for people that they know is legitimate, like Veve, because it would be weird to have something like this that's going to hurt something that's bringing you a lot of money. But I don't know.
I don't know how we're going to kill the FUD.
I don't know what to say.
I don't know how we're going to kill the FUD.
Let's
just break this down right now, because like, we just learned about this, and we heard rumblings about this, but it looks like Apple has clarified. They've given more information. So it's 3.11 in-app purchases. This would be their terms and agreements, whatever it is, 3.11. So here are some of the quotes. This is Apple Insider. Apps may not use their own mechanisms to unlock content or functionality, such as license keys, augmented reality markers, QR codes, cryptocurrencies, and crypto wallets. I'm just going to keep reading to get through all of this, okay? Apps may use in-app purchase to sell services related to non-fungible tokens, NFTs, such as minting, listing, and transferring. Apps may allow users to view their NFTs, provided that NFT ownership does not unlock features or functionality within the app.
Now, question. When they're referencing because Veve technically goes by, even though they're using NFT technology, they don't mention NFTs pretty much ever. They like, it's just, we know what the technology is. So could this be a situation where they literally are meaning things like OpenSea and stuff like this, like these pump and dumps, these scams and things like that? Could they be talking specifically about that more so than anything that Veve is doing? Because that would make sense, where these scam projects can't come promising one thing and trying to give you unlockable content behind paywalls and stuff. Like that would make sense in that scenario. But Veve technically, so I don't know if they mean technical NFTs where if anything is using NFT technology, they won't allow it, or if it's literally these crooked NFT projects that's promoting NFTs and trying to sell NFTs by their utility and things like that. Because Veve isn't really moving like a normal NFT project. So that's why I don't know if they actually fall within this after that clarification. So I don't know if they actually fall within this category. We obviously know that they have NFTs, but is it going to be that strict on Veve's style of going about NFTs where they don't even mention NFTs, it's just digital collectibles? Because this is what got Veve out of trouble in Asia, the fact that they go by digital collectibles. And I'm thinking that potentially what can get Veve out of trouble here is the fact that they go by digital collectibles. And people who are buying things on Veve are trying to buy digital collectibles more so than it just being an NFT crazy thing. So I don't know.
Apps may allow users to browse NFT collections owned by others, provided that the apps may not include buttons, external links, or other calls to action that direct customers to purchasing mechanisms other than in-app purchases. And then to finish it off.
So see, like, so this literally sounds like, because if anything in Veve, it would just send you like to the Veveverse, which is technically in-app or in company. It would be sending you to Disney, which is in partnership, or yeah, like, you know, like that's how it's going to be in the future. So I mean, this literally sounds like some of this stuff that you will find maybe on like an OpenSea or some other NFT platform like that. It doesn't seem like it's something that applies to Veve. And then Veve's actually building a strong, legitimate business, and they are working with Apple. So I don't know if this necessarily applies to, if this is going to apply to Veve. I think that this one might just be, you know, it sounds scary if it does apply to Veve, but I think that Veve kind of gets a pass here. I really do. Let me know what y'all think.
Apps may facilitate transactions or transmissions of cryptocurrency on an approved exchange, provided they are offered only in countries or regions where the app has appropriate licensing and permissions to provide cryptocurrency exchange. So
they're asking for licenses and permissions and things like that. Veve has a bunch of licenses, permissions, even though they were talking about cryptocurrency. I believe that because of who they're working with and the fact that these are licensed collectibles and licensed things, and it would only be linking, but like there's already rules based around these licenses, and it would only be linking to things approved by these big companies, AAA companies, as there is. Like, I don't know. I don't think that it's going to be that big of a deal. I don't think that it's going to impact Veve the same as it impacts other companies that's just selling these NFTs and trying to scam people. So I think this is an attack on scams and scam NFT projects more so than just anything built using NFT technology. Veve doesn't even promote itself as NFT. So,
Joe, I hope we're wrong here.
That first one's a killer.
If I understand this correctly, it says that apps may not use their own mechanism to unlock content or functionality such as license keys, augmented reality markers. Literally, that is Veve, right? Like right now, we know all of our Veve collectibles are on Immutable X. We know they all have their own identifiers. We know that
augmented reality marker is an image or object that can be recognized by an AR-enabled mobile app and is used to trigger augmented reality features. When it comes to DIY project, marker should be placed on flat surfaces as bumpy, irregular, round surfaces, deformed marker images. Guys, this is like verbatim what Veve is. It is an AR marker thing. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if we're not reading this correctly, but
I think we are, because and then here's another thing too. Can Veve hide behind the fact that they're a digital collectible? I don't think so, because right now, all of our stuff is on Immutable X, meaning every one of our Veve, you know, call it what you want, user, our username, our email, it's linked to some public wallet that you could find on Immutable X, which is why OBD or ODB can find all this information. So if you click anybody's wallet, you can see the transaction, and then you can see the token ID. Like, this is an NFT. Like, Veve has NFTs.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. Like, that's the thing. This is where it's going to be a tough thing here. But yeah, like I said, man, I believe that personally, because of the way that they approach this, I think that is more about perception more so than reality. You feel me? So when I say that, I mean the reality is, yeah, they're NFTs, but the perception is that they're digital collectibles. They're advertised as digital collectibles. They're not really promoted too heavily and too much as NFTs. They're not promoted as NFTs that's going to have utility that can do this, do that. Like Veve is selling a product that comes with the ability to do other things. They're utilizing NFT technology to create digital collectibles. So there's a case to be made. Like these other projects, they're NFTs. Their only selling point is that they're NFTs. You can put them on your wallet and you can hype them up. That's what, like, Veve is a NFT, is a project built with NFTs. The other like projects are just NFTs. So Veve utilizes NFT technology to create premium digital collectibles, while other projects just utilize NFT technology to sell and pump NFTs. So I think that there's a difference there. I think that there's a big difference there. So hopefully Apple is only talking about that, you know, that distinction there more so than anything that's on the blockchain. Nah, it's over with. Like I'm hoping that it's more of one of those things where, yeah, they're going after specific type of NFT projects more so than something, you know, more legitimate like Veve.
On their app, and the app enables that NFT to give you additional functionality such as AR capabilities and or AR markers. That's more the term that they used. I think that this could be massive news. What is going on? Like, we need Veve to clarify this right away, because that is the only utility that's on this app.
So what are you gonna do? Take away the AR feature, and then you just hold them and you can look at them? Like,
yes.
Then what? Then what?
I think at this point, like, you cannot leave the Apple Store. It's part of growth.
You're not allowed to use any other features. You can't. What about the Veveverse? No Veveverse? Like, what does that mean? That's a feature, is it not?
Oh my God, how is the Veveverse going to be accessible? I guess it's at least they have, thankfully, the saving grace is we got a web platform. So at least we can access Veve through the web platform, but I don't think it has AR functionality.
What if this is a play to get people on the web? You know, that would be crazy. That would be crazy if Apple did this just to get people on the web. Well, I don't know. Like, they wouldn't shut down their own thing with Veve just to help Veve out. Like, I mean, but this, like, pushing everybody over to the web version of Veve, I mean, that would be way better for the company in terms of profitability and everything, to be fair. And then they said they were already focusing on the website of things for the Veveverse. So, I mean, it kind of would work out in their favor. But again, I still don't believe that this is something that's going to be targeted at Veve. I don't think so. I don't think so. It definitely could be. It looks like it is. It sounds like it is. Everything that they say, it sounds like a direct attack at Veve. But part of me wants to remain optimistic and say I don't think it is, you know?
No, but how do you, even if, I guess if you were on your phone, on your website or whatever, but how would you use AR? You're on your computer looking on the web app. I mean, you're not even allowed to point people to the web app, even in an indirect route, it says in that comments, right? So, I mean, you really hope that Veve's had these conversations with Apple. I mean, we've heard rumblings that they might have been in talks or had some kind of conversations with Apple in the background. That I'm hoping that means Legal Dave and the rest of that team over there have been putting the package together so that it abides by all Apple's terms. They've maybe passed it by Apple's lawyers, make sure that they're in the good books. But it'd be really, really nice, like you mentioned, to hear something from the team to say, look, we're good. Don't worry about it. Because if they pull AR or they pull the web app or they pull the Veveverse or they pull this stuff, that you're going to see mass exodus. You thought you had exodus now. You thought people were leaving the app. Now you will see mass exodus. People will go insane. And then the other thing,
this could literally be a Veve killer. Like this type of change, if it applies to Veve, it's basically a Veve killer. I don't see any way around it. I think that this would be a Veve killer for sure.
Thing is, the only other way, if you weren't to give Apple full purchasing power to make all these features accessible, the only other way would be to say that they're not NFTs, and in that case, they would have to transfer everything back to Veve, and then they would own all your stuff, and I don't think that would go well either.
No, they won't do that.
What do they do here?
They won't do that. I think that, okay, that's the bad news, right? The bad news is that worst case scenario, like Veve's gonna have to take away their AR functionality, and then like, what are you left with? That's the only utility you left.
You can't add features.
Hope. You can't add features. You can't add utility. It's hope of the future. But on the flip side, the benefit.
What if it is an attack on Veve? Because Veve is really one of the only projects with like crazy utility. I guess some projects link to other things, but Veve is really the only one with these augmented like that was very specific, the augmented reality part. Veve is pretty much the only one doing that. And basically what this does is this forces Veve, if these laws and stuff is going to be enforced against Veve, that basically makes Veve just a marketplace like every other NFT project, except for they still have the best IP. But yeah, like it literally forces Veve to be like every other marketplace, and it limits what you can do to only being a marketplace more so than all the goals and ambitions that Veve actually has to build this business. So I'm hoping the collectibles, like the collectible title and the collectible routes, the collectible marketing from Veve is enough to overpower this, honestly. Because yeah, like this does kind of seem like an attack on Veve now that I'm thinking about it. Augmented reality, that was very specific, and Vivi's the only one doing that like that.
Benefit is that they currently today have a web platform that they probably could transition to and leave and actually take away functionality from the app and add functionality to the web platform. I'm not sure of other NFT providers out there that might have only a web app. At one point, this would have been even worse if Veve. This is before web. Remember, we were saying when web app. And we would say when web platform.
It's true.
Thankfully, this happened when it came, because if it wasn't here, they might have been in big trouble. If it does crash collectible prices, long term, if you think about all the compatibility that's going to happen in a VeVeverse, in a metaverse, long term wise, I mean, the app, forget the app. Like,
I believe that this would, like, Veve would probably sue them. I believe that there will be lawsuits, and then not just Veve. This not just Veve, the Veve's partners, and it's like you basically are putting laws in place, and you're trying to put rules in place that literally shuts down a company that's going crazy right now with some of the most powerful brands and people in the world. I don't believe that anyone just allows this to happen. I'm believing that Veve has it under control, though.
Like, the collectible should still do well. It doesn't really change the fundamental reason why people are investing in Veve for the long term, but it changes the short term inflow of money, because I think it's going to be a lot harder to attract people if you have if you have an app on the App Store that doesn't even give you the AR functionality. At this point now, you're just as good as anyone else. Maybe if they can give the web platform the ability to use AR, you can circumvent that. But
the thing is, you can't even point people towards the web app to get to the features. So you're not even allowed to tell people from the phone. And I don't know about you, but I go for every drop on my phone.
Me too. Me too.
I use the augmented reality feature. So now you're taking away, I guess you could still probably go for drops on the phone because you're paying through Apple gems or whatever if you go over. But how do they prove now that all the gems you bought are from the app? Like, is that going to become an issue?
I don't know.
Like every dollar spent has to be spent and purchased through Apple. This opened up a big can of worms that I'm sure that we don't want, nobody here wants, but I'm having a little bit of faith here that maybe Veve's had seen this coming. I mean, they're usually ahead of the game in this type of stuff, looking ahead. But I mean, it could be that Apple just dropped a bombshell nobody expected. They're trying to take sole proprietorship. I guess it is. But like, the other thing is, okay, you go back to the web platform and then you wait for the glasses to come out so that you can use them in the Veveverse. What if Apple, and it's very highly likely, what if Apple is the glasses place like the iPhone?
Yeah,
like the
iPhone
iPhone
have
is
restrictions.
predominantly, like, I know there's a lot of Android users, but like the iPhone is iPhone, and then Android is a bunch of different companies.
Remember, there was a lot of speculation that David used tight with guys at Apple, so maybe he's part of that closed ecosystem with those glasses. I don't know. I mean, they got some big names.
If they have some kind of an Apple deal, right?
Remember that?
That's like the opposite news. That's like,
see, I'm thinking negative though. I'm thinking negative. I like the positive approach. I'm thinking kind of negative. Like, what if David Yu wanted to do his own thing, wanted to go about this and build out his vision, and it didn't align with Apple? And what if this is a target towards them for it, where they're trying, like, because you got a guy out here literally revolutionizing things like Steve Jobs, like the founder of Apple, and it's like you're trying to, it would appear to be that you're trying to handcuff him. You're trying to hold him back. You're trying to bring him down. But again, I still think that this is kind of more so geared towards the broader NFT space, more so than a project like Veve, since it is classified as digital collectibles, even though it is NFT technology on the blockchain. So I'm still like, I'm thinking about all scenarios. Like, it could be a really, really bad scenario where there's beef, or they could have some type of partnership where they know that they're exempt.
it's like the best news possible, because then they become even more limited, even more you can only do this on Veve. Like that's the hope. If they have that in place, if they have the infrastructure in place, if they've talked to the right people and they're set up, and calling it digital collectibles is enough for Apple. Like maybe this is just to get rid of the scammy stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if they have their stuff in place, and then and Vivi's good, and any new person coming in has a lot more hurdles to jump over, this could be really good news.
Yeah.
So it's really important that we hear from the owners and that they address it and that they say something like, guys, don't worry, we're not going anywhere. Everything's status quo. You're still going to be able to look at your collectibles in AR. Also, we don't have a date. Like, I know Apple changed the terms of services. Does that mean tomorrow AR goes away if they don't have this stuff in place? Like, what happens?
I have no clue. And you made a good point. I mean, I still think that at this point, we are trying to wrap our heads around this. We want to hear from you too below. How do you interpret this? Are we like making this a bigger deal than it needs to be? Like that we think this is a bombshell because we've been saying for a long time that the utility that Veve offers is very, very attractive. Like you have this amazing.
That's the whole point of this technology. That's the entire point of this technology. So could it be a bigger play? Could it go to the government or something, going at Apple, trying to get them to shut down this NFT space and this blockchain space before it even gets off his feet? Like, could this be one of the situations where, how China has banned Bitcoin so many times? Could it be one of those things where they're just doing it to cause a scare, like tank prices, and why are they doing this?
IP with the AR functionality. Now that's gone. So now you just have the amazing IP, which could eventually be replicated. We don't know about the Veveverse. We don't know about the future plans. Like we were saying with Apple and the glasses, maybe Veve David Yu is tight with them. We don't know all these things. I think most people on this app are here for the long term at this point. A lot of the people have left that don't want to be here anymore because of the short-term issues of the bear market. But long-term, it really doesn't change much. It's still great IP that's early, that's a collectible, that could do well in the future kind of metaverse. But I don't know, in the near term, in a way, it's bad if you're somebody who's, who needs to sell out. Prices might tank more. On the flip side, it's great because if you're pro Veve in the future and you're right, you might just get even better deals than they are right now. Someone made a comment, have we hit the bottom? I'm like, don't ever assume we hit the bottom. Something like this can, I think, drag it even further down. So I want to hear from the superstars. Are we missing something here? Or do you have the same urgency of concern like we do? If you do, let us know your thoughts below.
What does this do for interoperability? What is it? That's the thing I'm looking about too. Like everybody's calling for interoperability. Thank God it's not there, because I think that would have given them even more issues, because that's like even more NFT-ish and more ownership for the user. And Veve and Apple seems like they want complete control of anything to do with NFT. So if you got NFT on your Apple phone, they want to make sure that they're benefiting.
Well, that's a whole other situation. And I remember the last video we made, like, how exactly do you do interoperability? We're on Immutable X, we have our wallet, but how do you restrict access to some and not others? I'm not techie. I don't really know how they would do it, because they're saying maybe Disney and DC are like, no, I don't want my stuff interoperable. Then you got Ron English who's like, make it interoperable, but then everything's on Immutable X. And then how do they restrict it? There must be ways and things they can put into to prevent it. I'm not sure. But then that further complicates it from the legal side with Apple and the app, because some of them are now going to be interoperable. Some of them are, I don't know.
Legal
we need
Dave,
Veve to tell us.
Legal Dave, you got lots of work.
Where's Legal Dave?
I think that it's going to be more so, when it comes down to the interoperability, I think that it's going to be interoperable only with partners that's approved by these brands and these IP. So you're going to be able to, I don't think that it's going to be, oh, you get the the keys and stuff and you just do whatever you want with it. I think you're going to be able to, transfer collectible to the Veveverse. That's interoperability. Transfer collectible to maybe the Veve wallet. Maybe they'll allow transferring to their wallet only, or something like that. I think that it's only going to be approved items. These are serious IP. These are very, very big brands. I don't think you just do whatever you want with it. I think you're going to be able to transfer, and I don't even know about transferring to wallets at all, but transferring it back and forth from the Veveverse to, I think that that'll be possible. Maybe, and then, of course, there's going to be there's going to be some type of rules. You can write it into the smart contract where, certain rules have to be followed with this, but yeah.
Legal Dave, somebody
Legal Dave, come on the channel, explain it to us, all right?
Just come on the channel, explain this. We have all these questions now. And all the superstars out there help us, because when you have like it's the mind of the masses.
Yeah.
Your
You
comments
guys know
below,
more. You know more than us. Tell
your
us.
comments below are gonna help, you know, get those creative juices flowing. We're gonna share ideas, and maybe we'll get closer and closer to the truth and figure this out.
Yeah, this was a good video, man. A lot of information, very, very scary times, man. Very, very scary. Like, this is very scary news. I mean, all we can do is wait and see. I'm not too worried. I have very strong convictions in this team. I know they know what they're doing. They have a lot of heavy hitters behind them, like including some of the biggest brands in the world. And at this point, this would be something that messes with Disney's money, because you got to think about it. The NFT space is on track to make Disney a lot of money. So what happens at the point where, oh, you won't let Veve do this? You say Veve can't do that. We pulling everything Disney comes off of Apple right now. I mean, I don't know if they would ever do that. I mean, but to be fair, in the long term, Veve stands to make them more money than all of their apps and stuff on Apple right now. So what if these companies start taking stands like that? Like, Disney has a lot of power. Veve's partners have a lot of power, and the Veve team has a lot of power. So let me know what you all think, man. Yeah, but be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Peace out, fam.